Hello students, today we will discuss two topics. One is a work environment and another is a ergonomics. As we have seen in the Hawthorne study experiment on elimination, change in environment may not be the real cause of decrease or increase in production, as there are other factors also which may affect production. Improving the working environment may not cause miracles, at it would always be desirable to have pleasant working conditions. So there are so many effects, adverse or bad work environment effects on organization, like health of the workers may affected, which may prevent him from working to his full potential. Workers may not focus properly on his work and get distracted by poor working facilities. Sometimes a bad environment may demotivated him and he would not give his best efforts. Sometime in an organization, rate of absenteeism and attrition may also increase, and as the worker may not contribute to his optimum efficiency, it would certainly affect the quality and efficiency of the whole organization. So first of all, we discuss what is work environment. Work environment is the settings or social features and physical conditions in which an individual perform their jobs. These elements can impact feelings of well-being, workplace relationships, collaborations, efficiency, and employee health. So location, work environment is just a location where a task is completed. When pertaining to a place of employment, the work environment involves a physical geographical location as well as the immediate surroundings of the workplace, like construction sites or office buildings. So typically it involves other factors relating to the place of employments, such as the quality of the air, noise level, and additional perks or benefits of employment, such as a free childcare or unlimited perks, adequate parking, etc. So the work environment play an important role in a employee efficiency and his performance at workplace. So there are so many types of work environment. Work environment comprises the surroundings in which a worker does his work. It can be broadly classified into three types. So the first type is a physical environment. What is physical environment? It is just a physical arrangement of location or surrounding. It includes like illumination, intensity of light, noise at a workplace, the color of walls, vibrations, temperature at workplace, etc. These are the physical features of workplace. So these considerably affect the performance of the worker. Second factor is a psychological or mental environment. Psychological, it is related to the emotional well-being of the workers. It is the state of his mind of either stress or happiness which results from the work environment. Mental environment must be created so that worker can contribute more creatively and with motivation. Third type of work environment is a social environment. As we saw in the Hawthorne experiment, social grouping is one of the most important aspects of a worker's performance in an organization. So, his group of workers, his relationships at workplace with the management and other people, he is associated with at work and constitutes his social environment. Sometimes working environmental conditions are like noise, unwanted sound. Several researches has been conducted to determine the effect of noise at the workplace. Like Warner found that if noise is steady, the person adapt himself to it, but when it is intermittent, it requires a greater efforts to maintain a efficiency. Morgan found that initially any irrelevant noise retarded the speed of work, but then speed increased due to the extra effort put in by the worker to overcome the effect of the noise. So the noise at the workplace can be divided in two parts. It's sometimes internal or external. Internal noise means a caused by a machines or people inside the organization. It is a controllable. And external voice is it is caused by a factor outside the organization, as other factories, railway lines near to a workplace, or this type of noise is a uncontrollable. So high intensity of noise should certainly be prevented, and there should also be a check or how on low level noise. Earplugs, earmuffs should be provided at workplace. If possible, machinery causing a high level noise should be placed in a separate location. So there are some preventions also to avoid a noise at a workplace. Uh, Same as a noise, one another physical condition is a illumination. The lightning of a workplace affects it. The affect the efficiency of the worker. It affect the safety of the workers, or sometimes it is the main cause of fatigue also. So the type of light we use, or the distribution and location of lights and intensity, it is also affect the efficiency of worker at workplace. Atmospheric condition like temperature, sometimes it determines the direction of flow of heat. Uh, Thus, the temperature of a workplace should be kept at soothing level. Otherwise, it may cause discomfort to the workers and then affect his performance at workplace. So, humidity like moisture or water vapor content in the air also affect the efficiency of the worker. Or under high humidity or evaporation, or sweat from the skin is decreased and the body cannot maintain acceptable temperature. If the atmosphere is warm or moist air pockets, or it is measured in number of air changes in a room, so there are so many physical factors which affect the employee's efficiency and his performance at a workplace. So these are the types of work environment. Now, what is the importance of positive work environment? In order to create a positive work environment, each employee needs to feel valued. For a healthy employee-employer relationships, there is an important need for open and transparent communication among them. A transparent and open form of communication addresses the employee's need to feel that what they have to say has values and is being listened. It is what makes employee feel that they are part of organization and they are being valued there. Work only become meaningful when the employees knows that what they contribute affect the organization and that they are affiliated with. One important aspect of communicating openly is to meet with the staff and discuss the organization's philosophies, organization's values, and missions and goals of the organization. It is better to ask employee for their ideas and thoughts on how they individually and as a team can help in achieving various organizational goals. After the staff has shared their ideas, the management can share their own vision of how they see everyone working together, or management should share a feeling that everyone is working together as a circle in which everyone is equal and on the same level, rather than a pyramid where the administrators are at the top and the staff is at the bottom, creating a sense of different attitude. Everyone is equal because every job is equally important in fulfilling the vision and mission of the organization. They can also share work ethics, work commitments to the job, facilities, and work values. It is thus essential to discuss the organization's philosophy, mission, and values from time to time during various meetings to ensure that everyone knows what they are working for the other than their salaries, and they are part of goodwill for workforce of a company. Having open discussion and getting employees involved by allowing them to share their views and perspective on how to achieve company's goal, and later the management side giving their own perspective on how to fulfill the organization's mission, tends to create a clear work relations where everyone has precise knowledge of how to proceed and a feeling of trust. Second one is a building team spirit among employees. Team spirit is the first and foremost things to build among the member of a company, so the decision taken can be more balanced and effective. Also, by creating groups of employees and giving the opportunities to everyone to become the leader one by one, this can build their confidence, relate more with their company, and feel positive spirit among them. Another importance of positive work environment is a physical environment. It is important to create the office environment which should be much open and not closed in cubicles to look like a more refined space. Windows and blinds helps the light come into the enhance the atmosphere and the augment the creativity of everyone. So the physical environment play a important role for employees performance and his efficiency. Now next importance is a building trust. It is very important to build trust for a proper and a smooth working of an organization. The employer should have trust on his employee that whatever they do will be for the goodwill of the organization. An employee should also trust that the organization is committed to giving the best possible career, best possible salary, and workplace to their employees. Trust is the basic foundation for all type of relationships. It is either professional or personal. So it is a basic foundation. So building an environment of trust is one of the most important things that can be done to create a positive work environment. Trust is all about doing what you say you are going to do and being who you say you are. It's about showing your staff and making them believe that in everything they do, they are reliable, responsible, and accountable, and that they can rely on you for consistency. When your words and your behavior are congruent, you foster trust. Trust cannot be gained in one day. It will take some time for your staff member to learn that an employer is a person of his word. If the employer stick to his word, he generally gains trust. But if action do not match the words, employees they start to lose their faith, thus leading to an environment of mistrust and hence lack of work spirit. And hence an effective work environment include a trust level among the both. Next importance of positive work environment is appreciation. Reward and surprises always excite human being or everyone. When working hard, everyone expects some added bonus with that. Rewards are necessary to encourage certain behaviors in employees. It is used in organizational behavior management as well. By rewarding employee who put in an effort for their work, this will promote similar behavior in the future. By rewarding a hard worker, you actually promote the hard work spirit in other people also. And in turn, everyone tries to raise their efficiency in order to be the one who gets appreciated. Another importance is providing an open working environment to enhance creativity. For enhancing the creativity of an individual, it is important to give a freedom of work or create a healthy and safe environment around or in workplace. The office environment should be open and closed. So windows, blinds, lights, it is basically enhance the atmosphere of workplace. So it generate a creativity of individuals, which can helps to increase the performance of an employee and increase the efficiency of employee, which is beneficial for the organizational perspective. Now it is very, after the tasks are completed with full dedication by everyone, the head of the office should make sure that every employee get the incentives, and for those with less performance, they should be acknowledged or encouraged to work better. So basically the healthy environment is much more important for employees, while team spirit and open communication among everyone assistant employees is growing personally. So a neat and clean environment provide them with good health. It is important to creating a clean and healthy space for an employee. Healthy employees are much regular, keeping the number of leave applications at less, so that they can put much of their time working towards making the future of the company. So help the employees to enhance their creativity and come up with more ideas, as well as assist the employer to encourage all members to take work as an interesting task and not just a duty. So add these aspects to an office environment and make employee fall in love with their work, put their best for their company also. Now we discuss ergonomics. The word ergonomics is a combination of two words. One is a ergo, that is means as a work, and nomics means a rule. So in generally or literally means the law of work. The definition of ergonomic is, it is ergonomics applies the anatomical, physiological and psychological knowledge, that is also we can call as a human factor, to work and work environment in order to reduce or eliminate factors that cause pain or discomfort. So ergonomic designs of tools and equipment have helped curtail the occurrence of muscular skeletal disorder and repetitive strain injuries such as a carpal tunnel syndrome. It is also called as a human engineering. So ergonomics is the science of improving employee performance and well-being in relation to their job tasks, their equipments and their work environment. Ergonomics is also known as a human engineering, is defined by an International Labour Organization as the application of human biological science in conjunction with engineering science to the worker and his work environment, so as to obtain maximum satisfaction for the workers, which at the same time enhances productivity. Thus, ergonomics is a multidisciplinary science comprising subjects like anatomy, psychology, physiology, sociology, engineering, uh, anthropology, physics, or either medicine. So, ergonomics helps to study the effect of working environment on health and safety, and in turn on productivity. So, the worker's interest in the job to a greater extent depends on how comfortable and safe is the workplace. You can tell this generally it is a study of the relationship between man and his work environment. It is a combination of all the subjects. It is concerned with the fitting the job to the workers and to achieve this job being done and demand of the worker, equipment and machines used, and how information is presented, assessed and changed. So there are five what is a work ergonomics. We can discuss only a general ergonomics. Now work ergonomics. Work ergonomics is the science of designing the workplace, keeping in the mind the capabilities and limitation of the workers. A workplace ergonomics can involve the poor worksite designs, lead to fatigue, frustrated and hurting workers. So this rarely lead to the most productive workers. More likely it leads to a painful and costly injuries sometime, and lower productivity and poor production quality as well. So A workplace ergonomics improvement process removes risk factor that lead to injuries and allow for improved human performance and productivity. So by making improvement to the work process, you are removing barriers to maximum safe work performance. You are providing your workers with a job that is within their bodies capabilities and limitations, and you will be contributing to your company's bottom line as well. So an ergonomic improvement process can be a key contributor to your company competitiveness in the marketplace and provide a better work experience for your people. There are some of the questions you may be asking about ergonomics. We have put together this tutorials to answer these questions, like what are the objective of ergonomics. There are five basic aspects. First is the safety. It means, like example, for example, a machine should be designed such that the worker and those nearby should be protected against danger of accident. So safety is a basic objective. Second one is a comfort. For example, when a machine operator should be able to sit and do his job. If it is not possible, so they can provide a rest pauses. Why? Because we avoid a fatigue or reducing a fatigue of employee at a workplace. Third objective of ergonomics is a ease of use. Bulky items should be handled mechanically, or the machines to be handled should have proper control at the right place, so that the workers needs to make less efforts in operating or operating it. Productivity and performances. Good working conditions not only motivate the workers but to improve his performance at workplace, but also take care of the mental and physical health of the worker at workplace. And aesthetic, it is just a sign example for signs or posters or charts etc in the workplace make the workplace not only aesthetically pleasing but also give a useful information about the work environment as well. Now, process of work ergonomic. First of all, the first step of work ergonomics process is to prioritize the jobs for ergonomics analysis. First of all, the prioritized list should be developed by the ergonomics team based on an initial facility to review of overall histories and data collected by employees survey. Second, we conduct a ergonomics analysis. This analysis will objectively measure the risk for each job in the workplace and help you develop an ergonomic opportunity list. After conducting the ergonomics analysis, we can develop an ergonomic opportunity list. For developing an ergonomic opportunity list, allow you to prioritize company resources first in order to his efficiency and effectivity reduce risk by putting the appropriate control in place. After that, we can determine the best solution with team approach. A multidisciplinary team should be involved in determining the best control for implementation, so we can find out the best solution with different alternatives. Then in a next step, we can final approval and we can obtain a final approval and implement solution if the improvement requirements and significant capital expenditure and cost justify the solutions to gain approval. In the last step, we can evaluate the ergonomics improvement for effectiveness. Once if improvement are in place, or close the loop on the project by evaluating the ergonomics improvement and measuring its effectiveness. After that, there are some benefits also. An effective ergonomic process can benefit your organization in a number of different ways. In fact, Washington State Department of Labor and Industry reviewed 250 case studies on the effect of ergonomics in a variety of settings. They found that Ergonomics can have a profound impact on your organization. So, including the following benefits. First of all, ergonomics reduce cost. By systematically reducing ergonomics risk factor, you can prevent cost. This represent an opportunity for significant cost saving. It is also, don't forget that the indirect cost can be up to 20 times the direct cost of an injury. Another benefit, improve productivity. The best ergonomic solution will often improve productivity by designing a job to allow for good postures, less exertions, fewer motions, and better heights and reaches. So the workstations become more efficient at workplace. Ergonomics also helps to improve quality as well. Sometimes a poor ergonomics lead to a frustrated and fatigued worker that don't do their best work. When the job task is too physically taxing on the worker, they may not perform their job like they were trained. For example, an employee might not fasten a screw tight enough due to a high force requirement, which could create a product quality issue. Ergonomics also improves employee engagement in work. Employee notice when the company is putting forth their best effort to ensure their health and safety. If an employee does not experience fatigue, if an employee does not experience discomfort during their work day, it can reduce their turnover, decrease their absenteeism, and it also helps to improve a morale of an employee. So employees are feeling increase their involvement in their work as well, which has to increase higher productivity or increase productivity as well. Ergonomics also create a better safety culture as well. It shows your company's commitment to safety and health as a core value. The cumulative effect of the previous four benefits of ergonomics is a stronger safety culture for your company. And healthy employees are your most valuable asset. He creating and fostering the safety and health culture as your company will lead to better human performance for your organization as well. Now, ergonomics risk factor as the primary workplace ergonomics risk factors consider these three factors. Risk factor related to work activities and ergonomics can make it more difficult to maintain the balance between fatigue and his recovery, and increase the probability that sometime individual may develop an MST. So the primary workplace ergonomics risk factor to consider is a high task repetitions. Many work tasks and cycles are repetitive in nature and are frequently controlled by hourly or daily production targets and work processes. So the high task repetition, when combined with other risk factors such as a high force or awkward posture, it can contribute to the formation of MSD. A job is considered highly repetitive if the cycle time is 30 seconds or less. It also creates a monotony in an individual, or which work as a reduce in efficiency or reduce in the performance of an employee. Second risk factor is the forceful exertion. Many work tasks require high force loads on the human body. Muscles efforts increase in response to high force requirement. So it is also increasing associated fatigue. Third risk factor is a repetitive or sustained awkward positions. Awkward positions or postures place excessive force on joints and overload the muscles and tendons around the affected joints. So the joints of the body are most efficient when they operate closest to the mid-range motions of the joint. So risk of MSD is increased when joints are worked outside of this mid-range and repetitively or for sustained period of time without adequate recovery time. So these are the important three risk factors in ergonomics. Now ergonomics work Workplace ergonomics control methods. There are two important control methods we use in a workplace ergonomics, that is engineering control and administrative control, to has to reduce the effect of work environment. This process takes a team approach. Information and input should be gathered from affected employees and member of the safety and or ergonomics team, supervisors and process managers or engineers, to determine the best solution to the problem that has been identified. All potentially affected job tasks, work processes and employee should be fully considered when contemplating physical changes and control measures. It's important to ask and consider how any proposed engineering control will affect the entire process, both upstream and downstream. So first of all, that is a engineering control. It eliminates or reduce awkward postures with ergonomics modifications that seeks to maintain joint range of motions to accomplish work tasks within the mid-range of the motion positions for vulnerable joints. So proper ergonomics tools should be utilized that allow workers to maintain optimal joint positions. Second control is a administrative control. Is establish a processes and procedures that can reduce injury risk. It includes a work practice controls like job rotation or counteractive stretch breaks. So first of all, control method to consider for a high task repetition, we use a engineering control, eliminate excessive force. Awkward posture requirements will reduce workers' fatigue and allow high repetitions tasks to be performed without a significant increase in a MSD risk for most workers. Then we providing a safe and effective procedure for completing work tasks can reduce the risk. In addition, workers should be trained on proper work techniques and encouraged to accept their responsibilities for prevention, for fatigue preventions also. Job task enlargement is a way to reduce durations, frequencies and severity of fatigue risk factors or repetitive risk factor. So worker can rotate between a workstations and tasks to avoid prolonged period of performing a single task, thereby reducing fatigue. Counteractive stretch break, implement rest or stretch breaks to provide an opportunity for increased circulation needed for recovery of fatigue or stress level. After that, control method we use to consider for forceful exertions. First we use a engineering control. We can eliminate excessive force requirement, will reduce workers fatigue. Using mechanical assist, counterbalance system or adjustable height lift tables and workstation, so can the power equipment and ergonomics tools will reduce work efforts and muscle exertions. We also provide a work process improvement such as using carts and dollies to reduce lifting and carrying demands. We can use a sliding object instead of carrying or lifting, and eliminating any reaching obstructions to reduce the lever arms or required to lift the object. Sometimes we provide body mechanics. Workers should be trained to use proper lifting and work techniques to reduce the force requirement as well. We also use the control method to consider for awkward postures. First we use a engineering control, eliminate or reduce awkward postures with the ergonomic modification that seeks to maintain joint range of motions or to accomplish work tasks within the mid range of motions positions for vulnerable joints, or proper ergonomics tools should be utilized that allow workers to maintain optimal joint positions. Work practices also, we can work procedures that considers a reduced awkward posture should be implemented. In addition, workers should be trained on proper work techniques and encouraged to accept their responsibilities, sometimes to use their body properly and to avoid awkward posture whenever possible. Job rotation and task enlargement is also a way to reduce repetitive and sustain awkward postures as well. We also implement a rest or breaks to provide an opportunity to counteract any repeated or sustained awkward postures and allowed for adequate recovery time as well. So these are the different control methods we can use at a workplace for reducing the fatigue of an employee. Now the conclusion. Ergonomics helps employees in developing most comfortable conditions related to climate lighting and ventilations or noise levels. It also helps to reducing the physical workload of an employee at workplace, so can reduce the fatigue of an employee, and which improve their performances and increase the level of efficiency. It is also improving working postures and reducing efforts of certain movements. It ergonomics also making the handling of machines, levers, and control easy, or it can also provide or increase the healthy and safe work environment to the employees, so that their efficiency and their performance is raising continuously, which helps to increase the productivity as well, which is beneficial to organization as well. So thank you, students.